That's a small one. First down, Brown. Leroy Horde back in the game. Gets the handoff. Dances his way to the 38-yard line where Harmon makes the tackle. Gain of only 2 or 3 yards.
Andy Harmon's had such a tremendous year this year. But he said one problem that he's had, you see that huge cast there, is that his pass rushing technique is he likes to take his hands and move the offensive lineman's hands up in the air. In other words, push them straight up and then work back underneath. He said with that cast on, it's really hard to grab their hands and push upward.
He's had to alter his technique a little bit. The defensive line again jumped but stayed onside. As Rippon's pass is caught at the 41-yard line by Eric Metcalf, and he's immediately wrapped up by Byron Evans.
And it has to make Byron Evans feel good to know that he has made one play on Eric Metcalf. Anytime you're the linebacker in charge of covering number 21 out of the backfield, it never makes for a comfortable night's sleep the night before the game. But Byron Evans has just had a tremendous year so far this season. Has 20 more tackles than anybody else on this Eagles defense.
3rd and 5. Metcalf as a wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. Now in motion. Fake it to Metcalf. Rippon tosses the Horde on the screen. He's got a convoy of white-shirted blockers. Horde cuts back. He's to the 40-yard line. Falls forward to the 25. A big gainer for the Browns on the fake to Metcalf and the screen to Horde. 34 yards.
How much respect do you think that Eric Metcalf gets? They fake the reverse to Metcalf. The entire defense goes with him. Screen back the other way to Horde. Look at that. Nobody on this side of the field. When Eric Metcalf goes from right to left, so does the defense.
That was a beautiful play. Mark Rippon has hit all 4 of his passes so far. Handoff this time to Randy Baldwin in the game. And Baldwin is to the 9-yard line. Mark McMillan, William Thomas stopping. That's a 16-yard gain. And the Cleveland Browns look like Super Bowl champions here in the first quarter.
Wow. Don't forget, this is the number 2 ranked defense in the entire National Football League. 4th best against the run. And so far, the Browns are simply overwhelming them at the point of attack. Nice job out in front that time by Mark Carrier. Not only did he seal off the corner, but also worked it down the field for Bud Carson. Not what he expected.
1st and goal just inside the 9. Carson, of course, the former Cleveland Browns head coach, now the Eagles defensive coordinator. There's a penalty. Bob Dahl with a false start, or was it Orlando Brown? It was on that right
Before
side.
the snap, false start. Number 77.
It was Brown.
5 yards. It's still first down.
So the first mistake made by the Browns in this first quarter with just over 5 minutes left.
And Tom, I do want to point out that Orlando Brown is a part of a couple of changes they made up front on this offensive line last week. Doug Dawson went in at left guard. Orlando Brown, a great run-blocking tackle, comes in at right tackle. And they seem to have made a big difference last week. Looks like the same effect this week.
Rippon has not missed a pass. Till then, Metcalf couldn't hold it. He was covered well by William Thomas, the linebacker. Now 4 of 5 for Rippon in this first quarter.
But he's sharp, and he knows that if, in fact, they can run the football like this all day, that the play action is going to continue to be there. So important now for the Browns offense to go ahead and stick this thing in. They have not been very good in the red zone this year, scoring only 45% touchdowns. That's 10th best in the AFC.
2nd and goal from the 14, 8th play of the drive. Metcalf on the handoff, nothing. Michael Zordich, the strong safety, got great penetration, and Metcalf never had a chance.
And there's the blitz. We saw it last week against the Arizona Cardinals. Zordich, who was given up on by Buddy Ryan. Zordich, well, tried to do the telestrator, didn't seem to want to work very well. And Zordich coming through on the blitz. He was really given up on by Buddy Ryan, and Bud Carson, who had to cut him one time before when he was with the Jets, remembered it, brought him over, put him back at strong safety, and really has put on a show so far for this Eagles team.
Now 3rd and goal all the way back to the 17. This time they hand it to Metcalf on the reverse, and the Eagles are ready for it. They spin him down at about the 18. William Thomas was not fooled.
There were so many doubts about William Thomas. Was he big enough to play outside linebacker in the National Football League? Only 218 pounds. Tremendous speed, but he's also proven physically tough enough to handle the run in this league.
So the Eagles rocked back on their heels early, but the Browns finally straightened themselves out and forced the field goal attempt 35 yards by Stover. And he got it. Some consolation for the Eagles. But meanwhile, Ripon and the Browns have sprinted clear to a 10-0 lead in the first quarter at the Vet.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the world's one and only remote control sliding door. Available only on the Chevy Lumina minivan. It looks different because it is different.
You can tell a lot about a man by his shaver. The man who uses a Braun Flex Control appreciates good looks, has the flexibility to adjust to any situation, and he's not afraid to get close. But the most revealing thing about a man who uses a Braun is how easy it is to spot him.
I believe this is yours.
Braun, the world's most recognized shave.
It's North versus South as James Toney battles Roy Jones Jr. for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship of the World. The Uncivil War. Live from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Available only on pay-per-view. Call your cable operator to order. Brought to you by Budweiser, King of Beers.
Mud deal on all new Fresh Prince.
Who's he?
Can Hillary hit a home run with baseball's Ken Griffey Jr.?
Hi, quarterback.
All new Fresh Prince, NBC Monday. Tuesday, Fraser's got a hot date with Jo Beth Williams, but a woman from his past could ruin his weekend.
Fraser?
She's back.
Oh, my God!
All new NBC Tuesday.
Bill Belichick, who was pretty confident when he talked to us yesterday, as Matt Stover, who just hit his 9th straight field goal, kicks off to Herschel Walker from the 10. Walker, a good block, takes it back to the 25-yard line. Herschel Walker, who is the workhorse, the man of many faces for these Philadelphia Eagles.
He lines up in so many different positions. You see him in the I back, split backs. He'll play fullback and lead back. He's out on the flank as a tight end. He'll play wide receiver, motion to the outside, and really present some matchup problems. Even the up back on the punt team. Gets a little water for the guys on the sideline, towels them off, whatever you have to have done. Chases kicks. Guy's incredible.
2 possessions, 3 and out for the Eagles. They haven't picked up a first down. Fake the screen one way. Cunningham goes to the screen to Walker, and Walker with blockers in front takes it for about an 8-yard gain. Best play of the Philadelphia offense so far. Bill Johnson finally made the tackle.
Plagiarism runs rapid in the National Football League. It worked for the Browns, so the Eagles coaching staff saw, well, now we'll give it a shot. Flip it out here to Herschel, and still has that tremendous speed, obviously, at 32 years of age. Not quite what he was a few years back, but still a very talented guy and can do so many things.
Eagles looking for their initial first down. Hebron. He'll have enough for the first down, just short of the 40-yard line, tackled by Frank Stams and Pepper Johnson.
It was interesting talking to Nick Saban just before the ball game about Herschel Walker, and he said he really gives us some matchup problems on the field. You want to play him with a linebacker who is physically as big as Herschel Walker, but those linebackers can't run with him. And if I put a defensive back on him, the guy is just too big and physical to push those guys around. So it's really a problem figuring out who to play on Herschel Walker.
Coach, I said Herschel was dead in the water when they picked him up. And several veterans that are appreciated. Play action. Cunningham goes deep through the hands of Bavaro and incomplete. Well, Bavaro earlier in the game had one bounce off his hands, no good. That one appeared to go right through them.
Not exactly a great start so far for Mark Bavaro. A guy that really doesn't practice a whole heck of a lot because of his knees and physical problems, but this is the second straight ball we've seen go right through his hands, and really the Eagles are very fortunate. Both of those balls should have been intercepted.
Second and 10 for Philadelphia. Cleveland leading 10-0. First quarter, just over 2 minutes left. Walker couldn't get that one. He was in traffic, and Randall, you see, saying he was held.
And Tom, did you see how closely Pepper Johnson had him covered? He may have held him a little bit too. But they are not respecting the intermediate routes of the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Saban thinks he really has a tip on this football team that they want to throw in that 0 to 5 yard range and let those running backs make a move with the football or take it and throw it all the way down the field to Fred Barnett or Calvin Williams. Those intermediate passes aren't scaring the Cleveland Browns.
Cunningham chased. He got out of the pocket. Lets it fly way downfield, and it's broken up. Intended for Calvin Williams. Good defense on the play by the rookie from Alabama, Antonio Langham, the Browns' first-round draft choice.
And this is what Randall does best. When we talked to Belichick and he said that Randall can cover so much of the field, this is what he's talking about. Randall probably could have picked up the first down running the football here, but decided to let it take a shot down the field. Fred Barnett or Calvin Williams was in position, but Antonio Langham made a beautiful recovery on the ball. Really was beaten initially.
Barker's punt. Metcalf lets it bounce. Takes a good eagle bounce. Still going and finally out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 47-yard punt by Barker. Browns backed up, but they hold a 10-0 lead in the closing stages of the first period.
Working to be the best. Teammates sponsored by the U.S. Army.
We are playing good right now on defense.
With hard-hitting Greg Lloyd and ball-hawking Rod Woodson in the lineup, the Steelers' defense does indeed play well. Both are all pros, and Woodson recently made the NFL's all-time team. Together, they make Pittsburgh's Steel Curtain the best they can be.
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army. So when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
The man in black is back for an unsurpassed 7th time. Chevrolet congratulates Dale Earnhardt and the Childress Goodwrench Chevrolet Racing Team on capturing the 1994 NASCAR Drivers' Championship. One car company has won more races in the history of NASCAR. That's genuine Chevrolet.
Cleveland up 10-0 on the Philadelphia Eagles. 1:44 left in the quarter. The Browns have looked great.
Absolutely have, and I really think that Michael Dean Perry has made the play of the game so far with that sack of Randall Cunningham, set up the first touchdown.
This, of course, is in the city of brotherly love, a match between two brothers on opposite sides, Michael Dean Perry and William the Refrigerator Perry, who left their home in Aiken, South Carolina, to move on to Clemson, where they had similar results and now playing in the NFL. There's Michael Dean, who had the sack earlier of Randall Cunningham. Not that close, actually, as brothers go. There were 12 kids in the family, and some 3 years separating those two. Leroy Horde with a carry for the Browns, and not all that close. Michael Dean is the youngest of 12 kids, and his buddy among the brothers was the one just older than him. But I was asking him yesterday about his older brother, William, and he said, you know, William put it about right when he said, I was big even when I was small.
The thing I remember Michael Dean saying was that there were never any cookies just laying around the house. Those things got taken care of in a hurry.
Rippon with play action. Plenty of time. Guns it downfield. Diving attempt made, but no good. pass falls incomplete, intended for Keenan McCardle. Let's go